So we have Nani's interview with Anupama Chopra where he's talking about his hit universe, the plans for it, the Avengers of Cops, and lots more. This is a long one, so strap in. If you haven't seen the original, I'll put the link in description. Check out on the Hollywood Report India channel. It's a reaction to it, not a substitute. I'll be pausing and talking in the middle, sharing my thoughts. Nani is someone I really admire, always look forward to the films he's doing because he always does something different and special. And already has announced something so different things. And the next one being Hit 3. So excited to hear what he has to say. Also, the channel membership is live. If you really like the content, want to support the channel, you can become a member. Get to watch such videos early and some memorable videos with song reactions. To know more, click on the join button and let's check this out.
Nani, welcome to the Hollywood Reporter India.
Welcome to Hyderabad. Welcome to our place. Yeah.
I love it. I love that
That's
we're
his
sitting in
house?
front of Po.
Oh, correct.
Who is
All the life lessons for me come from Po.
really?
Everything, ma'am. Everything. I think
For everyone.
a lot of times when I'm little, low or feeling down about something, I just remember a few lines from the film. And no, yeah, cartoon film
Tell me
can
which
inspire,
ones.
right? One is there is no secret ingredient. I always think of that. There is nothing. We just need to give our best. We know, there are a lot of times we think we are missing something. Somebody did it right. Something we are missing. No, nothing. So things work. Things don't work. But when things work, we start thinking that there is some secret ingredient. There is absolutely no secret ingredient. Is what I feel. It's about you doing your best all the time.
The first Kung Fu Panda movie is like I can watch it on loop for millions of times. Like it is so good. Like every time you like laugh on the same jokes, you enjoy the same things over and over again. Like it's so like it's timeless. Like I can watch it whenever I want.
And you must believe,
Yes.
which is in the name. So if Po can become a dragon warrior, we all can become anything we want. So there's a
Nice.
lot of life lessons in Kung Fu Panda, I feel. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
One of
yeah,
my favorite
yeah,
movies. Absolutely. And
What was the line? The past is gone, the future is yet to come, but we live in the moment because it's present. It's called. I'm butchering it.
listen, firstly, congratulations on the success
Thank
of
you.
Koat.
Thank you.
Oh.
State
Coming out soon. If you want a live watch along, let me know. But coming out soon on Netflix, so I'll checking it out.
versus a nobody.
Yeah.
I
Did you get to
was,
watch the film?
I haven't seen it, but I was told,
Please let
Nani,
me know if you can watch today. We'll plan a show.
I would
I'll
love
tell
to
the team
see.
in.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
I
a
would
nice
love
film.
to
I'm
see.
sure you'll love it. Yeah.
I was told it's your biggest hit
Yes, it is.
for
The
Wall Poster
production.
Cinema.
Yes, it is. It is.
Bigger than
Yeah.
Hit 2.
It is a budget wise in Wall Poster Cinema. It is the smallest, and it's the biggest hit. Every film is
That's
a hit
great.
in Wall Poster, but this is the
Nice.
biggest hit.
nice plug-in.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. First of all, explain Wall Poster, the name to me, Wall Poster Cinema.
So for me, I used to stay in a place called Amirpet in Hyderabad.
I've been to Amirpet. There's a big gurdwara there.
And at that time, it was Doordarshan. Just then, the cable TV came in, and then weekly, when it was Doordarshan, it only Sunday evening we used to get one film. That's all, and no ads or no trailers or nothing. Basically, what film is coming up, or we don't have any clue. They'll put some black and white film on Sunday evening, and we watch it, and we are very happy. And if it was a color film, so we thought it was a new film, and then we were even more happy. And I used to walk to my school, which is in SR Nagar, which is 2 kilometers away. And there is a theatre called Satyam Theatre in Amirpet. And there is a lane behind it through which I used to go. And it's a Friday to Friday theatre. Every Friday there's a new release in Satyam Theatre. So what really excited me about films were those wall posters in that street. And I still, till today, the kind of excitement of wall poster, not a poster digitally or not on phone, nothing. What is on the road on the side, and it says every day 4 shows. Roju Nalgatlu. This, this theater, Satyam 70mm, daily 4 shows, 6 p.m., 9 p.m., 2 p.m., 11 p.m. They used to mention that, right? The way that used to excite me to watch the film, I don't think the trailers or teasers or today's whatever social media promotions can do that to me. I remember that was like a wonder. I wanted to see if there is one new poster every single day. And they used to stick all the posters of whichever film is running in and around. And so for me, the kind of interest towards cinema, saying that that's something larger than life, and I someday want to be a part of it, started from a wall poster. So that is the reason we call it wall.
I don't know how many people watching could relate to him with that. It's kind of for youth. Like for me, what I remember is, whenever we used to go, across the mall and they used to put those big, posters only, banners of films and which they are playing and like, oh, so cool, that film is playing. And before internet, like it was not so common. Before all that, that those are the days I remember in that sense, nostalgic sense. But yeah, I think most of us like when the internet came in, everything, it's all social media.
Poster cinema.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
That's so lovely. So, Nani, how do you choose as a producer, right? Because the truth is, the films you've made in Wall Poster are not like those big tentpole movies led by stars, etc.
No.
I mean, the story of how the hit franchise came to you is just bewildering to me. That Sailesh Kolanu is an optometrist in Australia.
In Australia, yeah.
And then he sends you an email, and then you meet, and you say to him, "Okay, I'll stay in touch." And he comes up with this franchise idea, and you say you should direct it.
Yeah.
How do you know? Okay, does something tingle when it's a good idea?
Yeah, no. A lot of times I get this question, but thing is. He didn't tell me it is a franchise or anything initially. So we one film, one idea, and then once we made it, then we got this idea of why not make it a franchise. See, what's the problem with franchise films generally? You need to get that actor only every time you want to make a film, and it becomes very difficult sometimes. They might look very different. After a couple of years,
they might be too expensive.
Too expensive. They might be occupied. They might not be available. But then the filmmaker and the production house has to wait. So when we set up a world like HIT, Homicide Intervention Team, it's a fictional department.
I'm saying wrong. It should be HIT, not
HIT. No, we call it HIT, but because it's a short form, whatever.
Correct.
But it's HIT basically, and it's a department.
Yeah.
It's a fictional department. So. And now we actually have a chance of, now there is Telangana HIT, there is Andhra HIT. And soon in future when we fly to the different areas, we'll start Tamil Nadu HIT, we'll start Kerala HIT, we'll start Mumbai HIT.
Oh, like we got Mumbai HIT when they made a remake of it.
So the options are open. You can do anything with it, and so it'll be the day when we reach a point, and then we can bring all of them together. It'll be the Avengers of, and there's a possibility. We saw of cops, Avengers of cops, and they're all from whichever that particular part, whichever place it's located in. It'll be that case.
Yeah.
But then we can give this one a huge finale in the end where we'll bring everyone together that was the idea initially when I started off. It is going in the right direction as of now. So, and also it is not, I don't look for anything in particular at all. No, these are not, I just try to sense if the guy who's narrating me has understanding of, does he have a vision? Is he seeing the film or is he, a lot of people write stories, but they don't see it like a movie in their head. They see it like a story in their head.
I think that, that's a very important point because, it's a basic idea that, like, story you write, they meet at the airport, and this and that and this happens. But when you realize in logistically, when you want to shoot that, to go in an airport, hire that, like the expenses of doing that's very, a lot. So you're not visualizing how logistically you're able to pull that thing off, in a film, like to get a sequence in the airport and all of that. So should you take it to a station, train station, even that kind of expensive, bus stop, just a street, like how you write that, you have to understand that you have to end the end make a movie, not a novel, that you can take your imagination to anywhere. Somewhere you need to, base it in logistical reasoning, where how you wanna express this story if through visuals.
For people who see it like a movie in their head.
Even if they're a doctor in Australia.
Yeah, and if he's seeing it like a movie, there is a filmmaker in him. And even if someone who worked in cinema for so many years, and if he's seeing it like a story, then there's only a writer in him, not a filmmaker. So
Interesting.
whenever I through wall poster or
I just now suddenly in my mind I came up with an idea which I would like to pitch it to Nani actually. But yeah, I need to develop it more than just go with a one line idea.
myself as an actor introduce a maximum number of directors in Telugu in this generation. Our seniors did way more, but so I genuinely feel that is what I've always looked for, and that for me, a lot of times, even in my career, a lot of people used to be confused. Why are you working with him? Even a lot of times I worked with someone who delivered a disaster, and when I was in a you know I had back-to-back hits, and I had a lot of successful directors options where they were pitching. I would pick someone who just delivered a disaster, not because he delivered a disaster, because I'm believing in what he said and how he said it. So a lot of times my people around me used to be very worried about my choices, but now they don't complain at all. Now after all these many years,
you know what you're doing.
yeah. At least that's what they believe for now. I hope I'll not screw it up. But yeah, so there is no set formula of how I think or how I understand. It's just a gut feeling that I think this guy can make this film, and I'll always look for that little. Because I go.
This camera angle is a little weird because they're just too far apart and there's too much dead space in the center and your focus is going there instead of on them. That poo is distracting.
Of watching films in theater, I understand the theater's energy like audience only. Like, I'm not saying I'm not some pro at it. I think I'm a good audience. I watched films with audience, and for example, a lot of people thought Koat is a very offbeat, arty because of the idea or whatever, and they thought that it's not a theatrical film; it's a OTT film. A lot of people in my office itself, they thought, "Sir, who will come to theater nowadays for a small film, idea film like this?" I walked out of the edit room and I said, "It'll be a blockbuster."
Really?
Yeah, it'll be a blockbuster. I said,
Wow.
we'll if we don't have to like say, use wall poster brand or my name and sell this film. If nobody is, showing too much interest in it, let us do it ourselves. And I'm telling you, it'll be a very big hit. So everybody thought, sir is just being too positive about it or whatever. But today, it actually exceeded my expectations also. So I think it's very important to be, if not calculations and how it will work, what it will work, then we'll always do wrong. If we can just understand that core audience in us, and we always in cinema we talk like audience are some separate entity. No, we are supposed to be them, okay? And that is when I think the moment we think we are cinema and they are audience, I think that is when we lose that connection with them. And I try to preserve that, because that's what made me come in cinema. That's what made me love cinema. And
I think at the end of the day, like, people forget that they get too much into statistics and this is working, that is working, and this is what audience should watch. Like, you are also audience. Like, you have to remember, if it's not working for you, it's not gonna work for anyone. Just because like you feel like, oh, this is what audience like today, this is what they want to see, and it's not gonna work because you are not seeing that. If you are not gonna pay, and go and watch a film that you are making yourself, then what's the point?
I can never not look at myself as audience. So yeah, that is what makes me choose films. Yeah.
But Nani, with something like HIT, right, the easiest thing in the world would be to make it a franchise for yourself. Yeah. Were you not even tempted?
Oh, not at all.
Really?
I genuinely don't do anything for myself. I know it might sound very dramatic, but everybody who works for me knows. If there is an opportunity which is something very exciting, I try to how do I say, offer it to someone else before it comes to me. A lot of times there are at least in last 5-6 years, there are few stories which I thought will be blockbusters. I've told my manager, I've told everyone, and I went and spoke to the filmmaker and spoke to the producer who sent me the filmmaker, saying that not me, this guy will be the best choice for this one, and it will be a blockbuster. And I've attended the pre-release events of the team, and I've told them how confident I am about the film. So somehow, I'm not saying this is something great or anything, but that is the love for cinema. I genuinely feel a script or a film decides who, what it wants. And even though a filmmaker wants me, if the script I feel wants someone else, then I will be at it if I think it's a good script. Yeah.
So you
I think that, as you said, right, it's not should not be looked upon that, oh, he's so great guy. No, it's like he understands the world, he understands cinema, and he is not the right cast. Casting is also a big part of making a movie. To get a right cast is always a great point. That if you don't get the right cast, the film can go haywire. So it's better to get the right person for the right job. And if he feels he's not the right guy, someone else should do it. Then he's just being honest to the work he's doing. It's not just, oh, he's so a good guy and humble guy, and he doesn't believe narcissistic that only he can make movies. Or like, it's nothing like that.
would rather see a good film
Yeah.
than a medium film with you in it.
Correct. Yes, exactly. Because for me, the audience comes first, and if it's a good script, I want to do the best for it, even though if it's not mine or not in my production or whatever. I feel that is my responsibility towards a good script or towards cinema in general. Yeah.
So do those heroes ever say thank you?
Yeah, I think not directly, but yeah, in many ways. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you described
But again, he didn't do it to get those thanks, right? He did it for his own satisfaction that the film should work.
Saripoda as a humble action film,
Yeah.
right? How would you describe HIT3?
HIT3
Not
is
humble at
a
all.
very, how do I say? Definitely the violence part is extreme compared to what we have seen in Telugu films. But again, because of the genre, it's not something just for the sake of violence. It is a script which will slowly take you into, it is an investigative thriller. It starts off as an investigative thriller, but it becomes an extraction kind of a film. The stakes get higher and higher and higher, and then
Extraction, the Netflix film.
it is I cannot like generalize and say one statement about Hit 3, but I can say it is the massiest film in the Hit franchise. Yeah. When I say massiest,
okay.
it's not on the regular terms. In the Hit franchise, which are generally the investigative thrillers where it's all about who done it. The earlier films were about who done it, and they start into investigation mode, and then one after one, things start getting revealed, and then in the end scene, you'll know who. Hit 3 is not who. Hit 3 is how. So I think it's a very interesting setup. It is now this time, I think.
Refreshing, different. I think it's better to do something different because that template, then it becomes too obvious.
The span is much bigger than the earlier films. And we have some exciting things in the film which are for the theatrical adrenaline. So I hope it works that way. Yeah.
So
he's excited.
Your character, Arjun Sarkar, right? We saw him in Hit 2, right? In that
one small cameo.
One small cameo, and the other character describes him as a walking nightmare.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In the trailer for this one, he says कि जो officer खतरे में है वो ही खतरा है. Correct. Now obviously
that was the announcement video of
that's the announcement, right? So now obviously this is an unhinged cop. He's beating up people ruthlessly. He's slicing that man in half in the trailer, which was the shot that I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which honestly, Nani, also made me think about Dayanand in Saripoda, because that's also an unhinged cop, also beating up people ruthlessly, but he's a villain, you're a hero. Like, when is police brutality justifiable? When is it not?
No, it is not justifiable no matter what. We might make a film and we might show our protagonist as whatever. It is not justified for sure. But when the cause is bigger than, now, for example, now in Saripoda, Daya's character didn't have cause. Okay, or he might have a reason.
He was just greedy.
He is a greedy guy, and he might have a reason from his childhood why he became like that. That all that will not justify anything. And in Hit 3, Arjun Sarkar is a little extreme violent, but there is a cause, and the cause is much bigger than. There is a solid purpose, and it's actually. What do you say, Uttapadam? He keeps saying that word again and again for whichever reason. He always asks people purpose entry. He goes out on a date.
What's your purpose?
What's your purpose? He goes out on a date with a girl and he says purpose entry. And the girl gets irritated and leaves. So he's the guy who actually looks for purpose. So if when he goes in a certain direction and he wants to crack it, he will genuinely believe there will be collateral damage, and he feels that for the bigger purpose it is okay to have that. We're not justifying that, or we're not saying that it is okay to do that, but he is that guy. He is the guy who believes in it. So, and there are a lot of episodes where it will question his kind of attitude in the film. Is it right or not? So it is, we leave it to the audience. If you still will have a problem with him, but not with what he's working for and which direction he's traveling. So yeah, it's definitely justified when it comes to, is this necessary? For that, it is justified. Does he have to be that way? It might not be justified, and he's that way. Either we accept him or not. That's all.
So he's unhinged in a good way, and Daya is unhinged in a bad
way. Yeah.
There has to be context, right, behind all of it.
So, for Saripoda, you and S.J. Surya did some interviews, and one of them, he said that when you would do a scene together, you had such a good sense of whether that scene has landed, whether the acting is on point, that he would look at you before he looked at the director.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, Nani, where do these instincts come from? Do you think it's because of your years as an AD, or it's because of those walks in front of those wall posters? How do you know?
I think more importantly, understanding the medium of cinema. We still some way, you never completely understand it for sure, but at least if you're honest towards the craft, if you're constantly, if you know you're in love with cinema and you're not trying to see, there are a lot of technicians or actors who will constantly think about what should they do for their careers. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I feel if our love for cinema is intact, then cinema will do what it needs to do for your careers. And to be
only if people really thought that.
Able to the moment we start thinking in our own perspective, what should I do? That is when I think we go wrong completely. And what really makes Surya Garu or whoever believe me in location is what I feel, that they feel that love for cinema and I'm working with them, and they know it is. I will not tell it's nice just for the sake of it. Yeah, they know it. If it is not working for the shot, it could be whoever, but for the sake of it or for formality, sometimes they also feel that somebody, a director or someone might be hesitating to tell them they did. They know for sure Nani will tell us, because I'll put cinema above everything and anything. So
and that makes you be in that place where you get that power and control, where you can now dictate terms also. Like, he can produce his own films and do the roles he wants to do, and be with filmmakers he wants to be, instead of running behind big directors and trying to make that big next pan India film and next big actor. And instead of that individual selfish race. Not that if some people, they are people who just want to do that, okay, if that's your motivation, great. But if your motivation is bigger than yourself, then you are doing something greater, which can actually impact other people, just instead of you.
I think could be that could be the reason, is what I feel. But until you ask them, we will not know the actual answer. Yeah.
At a promotional event for Koat, Nag Ashwin said that in the last decade, I've directed 2 films, produced 1. Nani has made 20 films. Yeah. Introduced just so many directors, actors. Yeah. This fire in the belly that you have, where does it come from, and how do you keep it alight?
I think I'm extremely slow compared to the earlier actors like Chiranjeevi and all did so many more films.
But you're doing what, 2 or 3 a year?
I'm doing 2 films a year now.
2 films a year.
As of now. Huh. And there was time I did 3 films. And I think it's slowly, as the technology is, getting better, we're getting slower. The reason is now the people are used to all this, world-class content and everything, and so everything needs to be taken care of, in a very detailed way. You cannot say, it'll pass off. It won't pass off. So, and especially now people are loving these world building, kind of films, which needs a lot of work, lot of prep, lot of shoot days. If it's to shoot a simple rom-com or a comedy film, you can shoot it very fast. But if you're doing a film like a Paradise or something, which needs a lot of effort, it'll take time. So also it depends on the film. Now Nagi, if he did Everyday Subramaniam kind of films,
Oh, I want to watch this film. Like, it was supposed to be released, but it didn't release near me. And I think online it doesn't have subtitles, if I'm not wrong. Some issues there. So I really want to watch this.
back to back, he would have done 8-9 films by now, because he picked up a Mahanati then. Then Mahanati is something, it's period, it's Savitri Garu's biopic, and it took time. And then he picked up Kalki. Now Kalki, even if I do, it has to take that time. And
Yeah.
because of the CG, because of all those elements, and it will take the time. It's not about Nagi or me or anyone. I think it is the kind of setup that film needs and time that film needs. So it is justified for them to do those many films. And for me, till now, to maintain this, I'm someone who doesn't take breaks at all. I don't know what to do when I'm not shooting.
You don't
And
like
I don't
travel,
like,
holidays?
No, I go for travel. Now, for example, I shoot for a couple
I can relate.
of months non-stop. I feel like, I need a holiday, I need a break. And I will plan so much, and then I will go land there. And first 2 days, I'm done. From third day, I'll be like, why did I plan 10 days? I should have planned just 4 days. And now I need to go back, and I'll call from there. I will check on what is happening with the edit or something which I'm not, and I'll get some. I'll sit in a balcony and note down things which I want to. So it is like that. I'm there. I genuinely enjoy, being on set. So I think that could be the reason, but it's not like wanting to do many films or anything. It's just that I don't know what else to do. So
there's no rest time for Nani. There's
the
no
rest time is when I'm shooting.
Really?
Yes, I stress when I'm not shooting. Yeah,
That says it all, like the passion. Like, if you do what you love, you are not working.
I feel tired. Like, for example, I was just telling that I'm dubbing for Hit 3 now. If I'm shooting for 24 hours and if I'm hung on ropes and I'm doing an action sequence, I don't feel tired coming back home. 3 hours in dubbing, I go back home tired. I'm like, okay, we are doing something we have done already, right? There's no excitement in it.
Yeah.
So just to sit in location and just jam and do something new and keep thinking of how you're going to do it. What should we do? It's extremely exciting. That's my rest time. I think that's meditation for me. Yeah.
Just the challenge of that.
Yeah, just the challenge of that. Yeah.
You said something in an interview which I really loved. You said you're not afraid of success or failure. What you're afraid of is if you give less than 100% someday and you're okay with it.
Yeah.
That's when...
that scares me. Yeah.
So what do you do, Nani, that sort of ensures that you're very successful, right? And it's so easy to get to that point where you don't have to give 100% because people around you will still say,
correct,
amazing.
Correct, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you do to make sure that you don't get to be that hero?
The honesty.
Who gives like whatever, 65% and goes home?
Correct. No, because I think that happens when you get comfortable, when your love for cinema is dominated by your love for yourself. That happens, I feel. And especially I've seen a lot of times what happens is a lot of people, they stop watching the new content or new films, and they stop appreciating great cinema, and they get busy, comfortable with their lives, friends, family, that, this and all that, and they keep listening to what all nice things people say about their films, and that is when they think, oh, this is okay, no, right, this is enough, right? I feel we should, if that our love for cinema is intact and we're watching great content, then everything reminds you that you need to work better and this is not enough. And there's you might have there's no point in telling people that, 5 years back, that film of mine, people loved it. No, it's what is done is done. And if you're really updated with what is happening around the world, every Friday in some language or the other in some country, there is some great film coming out. And
That's
if
true.
you as audience are constantly trying to watch something great and appreciate it, then it will keep reminding you what you need to do. So I think that is what keeps.
I think that's why he's so relevant, right? That he's in the present. He's not too much into the future and too much into the past, just thinking about what has gone by. You have to live the present. You have to keep working at it.
Me feeling continuously that this is not enough, this is not enough, I need to push myself. And every film I've done till date, 1 year later, when I try to see something from that film, I feel like I haven't done.
Could have done better.
I could have done better. Is what I
A film just gets released; it's never finished.
always. Maybe during the release time, it will feel like, I've done what I should do. But once it's 6 months or 1 year later, every film feels like that, and I think that's a great thing, because that's how it should feel. But the moment we start celebrating our own films or start telling people stories about how awesome the film is, I think that is where it will all go down. And I try not to do that. And now, after these many films, as of now, I can still feel that balance intact in me. So my fear is that I don't think that will happen, but still, when I see people around me, that's my fear, that someday I shouldn't get comfortable with what I'm doing.
Satisfied with, I think, little. Like, okay, Ray, it's what I did was okay. Just make the film. Whatever. Like, I think that's what he feels.
It should always bother me that what am I doing? Yeah, it shouldn't be like what. Yeah.
So there's no vanity.
No, I think there is vanity in this itself, is what I feel. It's like, because only when I feel this, there is a hunger, there is something exciting for me every day morning. I wake up with wanting to do something, is what actually makes sense for me, or gives me a comfort within that. The day I don't think like, I don't see a challenge for myself is when I think will be the most boring day of my life. The day I wake up and I say, I'm arrived. I think that's it. I'll not know what to do with myself. Yeah.
Okay, what can you tell us about Paradise?
Paradise is, I don't know if I can say anything, but we're in the prep work right now. We're going to start shoot very soon. And
It looked really interesting, whatever they're cooking with that film.
it's a crazy film. In fact, in one of my interviews, I've said, somebody asked how I said it's Mad Max. Somebody wrote that it's Mad Max kind of a film, like the Hollywood Mad Max kind of a film. No, it is not Mad Max kind of a film, and everybody copy pasted it.
Yeah.
I meant it's madness in maximum. Okay, is what I meant. Okay, but a lot of people thought it's like Tollywood's Mad Max or something. It's not. It's a crazy world Srikanth has built, and Srikanth has every filmmaker has different beat points. I feel their energy, how they pitch their scenes, how they extract the emotion out of a particular scene is a very different beat point, and we all are used to different grammars like that through different filmmakers. Srikanth has a very unique one that way, extremely unique beat points. Like the highs come from the most unexpected places, and the way he looks at a particular episode or a scene, I don't think any filmmaker in Telugu will see it like that. They might have their own way of doing it, and which might be good too. But Srikanth came up with Paradise, which I feel is the most. How do I say this? In all my films, or a lot of films I've seen in Telugu so far, I think in theater, the film feeling like a concert and having that mad energy, scene after scene will be Paradise. Yeah, It is that kind of film. I can't reveal anything more than that, but there are a lot of unexpected elements which will
He's definitely hyping us up.
make them stand and scream. It's kind of that kind of an energy is trying to crack, and very sensible guy, very with a very original vision, and gives in everything. Once he decides on he wants something, and then he's behind it. Now, even now, the whole me working out and stuff, I never thought it's needed in my career. A lot of people used to ask me like, "Oh, when will you go, work out and do body transformation and stuff like that?" I like, "What's needed? No, okay, is it convincing on screen?" No, this guy pushed me to. He said, "No, I want it." Okay, so I feel we need these boys around and who will actually see a lot more, potential and things in you and push you to do something. So I think at this point of time, it's just the guy who I needed, and he came up with something absolutely crazy. We're starting shoot soon. Yeah.
And you're going through this body transformation as we speak.
Yeah.
Which is why you look the way you do.
Correct. Yeah.
And we're assuming
I'm midway, actually.
You're midway.
There, yeah.
You're going to get bigger.
Little bugger.
Yeah. So we're assuming that Paradise will be sort of that interval block of Dasara 10 times over.
Definitely, yes.
Wait, what was the interval block of Dasara? The head chop, that? I don't remember.
100%.
Because that shot was the one that...
Correct. Oh, yeah. That shot.
The headless.
I was right.
In a very different space, you will have those moments very regularly.
Right. What I mean is the jaw drop.
Correct. Jaw drop will be there. Jaw drop is non-stop. Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Yeah.
But after that, he goes on to direct Chiranjeevi Sir, which you will be presenting.
Correct.
And you posted on Instagram that...
I love this. This is what we see a lot in Malayalam cinema, and love to see that it's happening in Telugu.
It's sort of life coming a full circle because you grew up on Chiranjeevi Sir's
That lane had maximum his posters.
His posters. The wall posters were his, right?
Yeah.
But, Nani, I mean, maybe it's too early, but what are the conversations like you and Shrikant are having right now about how do you handle that larger than life persona? What do you do?
See, I don't want to have that Chiranjeevi, larger than life persona. If people start thinking like that, that is when they'll stop understanding why we related so much to him, right? The moment you start, see, for example, in my childhood when I loved Chiranjeevi's films, once we walked into a theater, he became that Raju, he became that whichever role he played. And he made us cry, he made us smile, and then there was obviously, exciting fights, everything. But the point is the relatability. And I genuinely feel nowadays we are not understanding the power of relatability. Okay,
You're making them kind of untouchable. The hero is the best thing ever, and this and that, and then that's kind of disconnecting it with the audiences.
We do action films, we do this big spectacles, but a lot of the focus is on the technique, on the score, on the huge action set piece. But when you relate to the people on screen and when you see an action, it is into 10 times, it works into 10 times. And that used to happen, with the, films when we used to watch in childhood. We used to forget about everything and we used to be in awe. Now we'll check phones and we'll say we'll like the scene, everything. We are always having a conversation. So I genuinely feel we should bring that back now yes, Chiranjeevi is a larger than life image and all that is there. But let's remind them of why we really love him. Okay. And it's just, we don't, a lot of people say Chiranjeevi means dance, Chiranjeevi means action. Chiranjeevi is this, that, and all. More than that, Chiranjeevi is not just that. Chiranjeevi is someone we thought is member of our family.
Yeah.
Right, and we forgot that. We are like really focusing on something else. Now, this Shrikant's madness with that Chiranjeevi, I think will be a great comedy. We're trying to crack something like that. So that will be interesting to see, is what I genuinely believe, and it'll be a proud moment. It's an extremely proud moment for me to be able to do that with Shrikant,
producer,
and after these many years in cinema, and to do, I never actually imagined with production and all that I will do films with Chiranjeevi or in someone of that stature, but it unexpectedly it came to that.
Happened.
So I'm happy, and also it's a big responsibility. So I hope we do our best.
Yeah. You talked about relatability, Nani. The reason you're called natural star is because you're relatable, is because there's no strain in your performance,
That's
right? We
true.
don't see the effort that
Yeah.
obviously you're making. And you've always said that you're not a method actor. You become the character when it's between action and cut, but you're not immersed into that character 24/7. You're kind of balancing between yourself and the character. What is this art of balancing? How do you do it?
I'll see a lot of times. Like I said, if you overthink, I think we'll complicate it.
So you don't overthink.
I don't overthink.
That's one way. That's true.
I don't overthink at all. And the thing is, you cannot. I don't know. At least I can only talk for myself. But I genuinely believe you cannot be in the character for. You cannot be like, for example, a lot of times I see that I read the script too many times on the set, and I've said it too many times just before going to the shot. It becomes mechanical by the time I get there. So to be in the character, and it's not like we are given positions, we are given lighting, whatever, and there is another actors who need to respond to our conversation. It's not like we are improvising whatever. We are saying what is in the paper itself. Or if there is an improvisation, we discuss it before. So there is nothing called, I don't know, method acting. I don't personally don't understand it. Where people say that they become the character and they just stay in the character during the whole period of the film. It might work for a few people. I'm sure they have their own point, but I never looked at it like that. And we're all, and this is Nani who's coming and then becoming Arjun Sarkar. And I need to understand how Arjun Sarkar is very different from Nani. Only then I can become Arjun Sarkar. I can, in every frame, I can make sure there's no Nani coming in, and then I can say these are the body language, these are the traits of Arjun Sarkar, and I have to constantly, consciously make sure that I am in that body language. It's very easy. Suddenly, I might move my hand in a certain way where I do it in general, right? If I'm constantly not thinking about I should be Arjun Sarkar, then I might fall out of the character.
Yeah, you might slip.
If I'm constantly having that care, if I'm thinking about it, and while in the shot also I'm thinking what my next move is, I don't know if it's a possibility of someone believing that they are the character. Okay, so that's not the process I follow, and I feel for me a lot of good things happen in short because I'm open to it. Yeah, and after there's a lot of learning through years. I'll not say what I think, what I thought with my first few films acting is. Then I've realized it's not that, and then now.
I think it's a evolving process. I think everyone just find their own process of how they want to do it, and if it works for them, it's great, right? Like if someone says a method acting and you're doing the character and living that character for till the film is over, doing certain things in real life to make that character happen. If it's working on screen, if it's working, then it makes sense. But if it's just a gimmicky thing that just you're trying to show that what stuff you're doing but it's not actually replicating on screen, then it makes no sense.
What I think acting is, I'm sure in a couple of years I might have a completely different opinion about it.
Yeah.
So it is a process, it's a constant process. So and what makes it extremely exciting, what makes the balance on, is the fact that I don't know is what is making the whole process very exciting. It's all downhill the moment you think about anything. The moment you start thinking that it's all downhill. Whether it's direction, whether it's acting, whether it's production, anything I feel is downhill there.
But Nani, are you one of those actors whose like first two takes are the best and then it's kind of diminishing returns, or can you do exactly the same thing over many takes?
I genuinely, I always believe that the first two takes will have a certain magic because you haven't said those lines too many times.
Yeah,
there will be
it's not like memorized. It's not, it's like it's instantly coming for you. The more you do it, suddenly you start to replicate what you already did instead of kind of creating it from new.
It's unsaid. I don't know how to explain it also. There will be a certain niceness and innocence to it when it comes first time. By fifth or 10th take, you know everything too much.
Yeah.
You know,
It's rehearsed.
It's rehearsed well, and you know everything at what point, at what start, the other person's dialogue, everything. See, when you don't crack one or two, a lot of times you crack the 10th take, and it'll be good. But some unexpected magic will only happen in 1 and 2. Yeah, a lot of times we go for the 10th take because of 100 other reasons. But a lot of times also, I tell my film directors that if you like the performances in 1 or 2, don't do it for a track, or don't do it for a trolley or some other moment or some lighting problem or something else. More number of takes. You want to do it and keep it. But see it in the edit. Think of, because what really connects to the audience, what really talks to the audience is your writing and the performances. So just because we could have had a smoother movement with trolley, or the pan could be faster. For that reasons, once you like a performance, don't go for a different take, because you can sacrifice.
That's easy to say actually, but when you have that as a vision, right? Like they just want that what they want. You cannot. It could be, yeah, this looks better, but what I wanted is that. And if the performance is okay also, but it's fitting my vision, maybe that's better. But again, you can always decide that on the edit table.
That, but you can't sacrifice this.
So it's always emotion over technique.
100%, definitely, any day. Yeah. The greatest technicians will tell you this.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I also, we did a documentary on Rajamouli.
Yeah.
And this is exactly his thing, that finally continuity.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter.
There's something talking to you through the screen.
Yeah.
And it's not technique. It's emotion.
It is emotion.
Yeah.
You said something which I found very intriguing. You said that the heroes here, there is a camaraderie and there is a friendship. You said, like, when your film's teaser drops, Prabhas will call you and chat about it. And when actors come from outside, they're actually surprised to see the relationships. And I was wondering, how do you maintain these relationships? Because it's a massive industry. I'm sure it's very competitive. How do you have a friendship?
See, again, when I say friendship, we are not all, No,
you're not best buddies. Sure.
End of the day, we all meet up, kind of not that kind of friends. But again, we are not someone who's like, what do I say? There's no, I think everybody knows everybody, and there's nothing like, there's I see I hardly go outside actually, and once or twice when I go to this filmy, gathering or something, I don't see anyone ignoring anyone. You understand what I'm saying? There is no like, okay, that guy is here, this guy. There's nothing like that, and in general, obviously there will be competition when the films release and all that, and if the 2-3 films are releasing together, everybody will wish that their film does better than the other films. But I don't see any negativity or especially in Telugu
it's not political in that sense.
Not at all political. And generally, when I know for sure when my teaser drops or my trailer comes out, by the time I wake up in the morning, I know my phone will have a lot of messages from a lot of friends in cinema, a lot of actors. They might not go and post it outside, or they might not make a tweet out of it, because then they'll have to do.
That's not what matters. If it's happening, that's what matters. That personal connection, that's what really matters. It's them posting or not, or sharing it on social media, or that's irrespective.
For everything, I understand that also, but they will make sure that I know that they loved it, and that's a very good thing. That's all we need in cinema, right? And the moment now, for example, a Koat released, and it's such a blockbuster. It's just a film I produced. And the kind of love from industry, from cinema, from actor friends and everyone, the way they have, shared things with me. Somebody said something to them about Koat and then they forwarded it to me. All this, I feel like this is as good as it gets, and I'm very extremely happy with that kind of ambience or atmosphere around in Telugu cinema.
And it's actually better, because in other cinemas, especially Hindi, they will post it, but inside
Oh.
No one's actually wishing
Okay.
well.
Oh no. Then we are reversed. Then
Yes.
we're all good. Yeah. Everybody is very happy that I've done it. But again, it's kind of a responsibility for them, right? Once they do it, like
Of
next time, why
course.
didn't you do it? Somebody will
That's
ask
right.
that. Nowadays, it's all social media. Also, is becoming a big, one kind of a
Yeah.
baggage.
Performance.
Everything, and everything you say, somebody will have a problem with. Something
right.
somebody. Now you just put out a nice, picture of something beautiful. Somebody has to come and say it is terrible, right? It's just something. Now, for example, what can be so bad about this cup?
Yeah.
Nothing, right? Okay, it's a cup. We might not comment also, right? What a horrible cup, somebody has to say. Okay, it is just how do no.
There's a coaster right there. Why are you putting it on the coaster? Why you put the cup on the table?
After a point, you understand that it is the generation, and it is a way of some kind of engagement for them. Yeah. Okay. And now, and everything has to be thought about. Is this right? Is that right? So I actually, whatever I see on TV, something on and something I like, I immediately tweet off. Initially, I used to think that what is this happening? But now I think I'm like, I did. No matter what, no matter who you are, whatever you're doing, you're the greatest person on the planet. We are in that generation. So we should be okay with it. We're getting so much love. And there will be, and through social media only, the love is able to reach us in so many ways. So when that's happening, this will also happen. So it's okay. Yeah. So that's I think I understand why a lot of people will think twice about posting. That. Yeah, but it makes sense also. Yeah.
You've said that you go to see all your films first day, first show.
Yeah.
Right, at a multiplex in
now I think that's not a possibility.
No longer.
Yeah.
When did you stop?
No, I didn't stop. I want to go, but I think now
it's going to get too much.
Right now, there's some heat with watching films in the first day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I hope it comes down very soon, and actors get to go enjoy the film with fans.
I think he's talking about what happened with Pushpa 2, that happened, like him going himself in theater and everything that followed.
Because that's what we make films for. End of the day. And for me,
I think he was there. The pictures were shared where he was in the theater watching Koat with the audience.
The most exciting thing about working those 9 months or 10 months on a film is to be able to watch the film together with the ones whom we made it for, and then just see them react. And that's such a nice feeling. And I think now we'll be restricted to the multiplex for next few months or a year or whatever. I just hope it returns back to normal.
But
multiplex, wait, what? Are the single theaters shut or something like that?
That can also be quite brutal, right?
Yeah.
What's been your best experience of watching your film in the theater, and what's been the worst?
There's no worst experience at all, because I've enjoyed the films which didn't do well also, because it's not about if it's about, like, for example, if there's an artist and he painted that, okay, when you call someone, you call all your friends and you wanted to show it off, it is such a high to just open that curtain and show them I've done this.
Yeah.
Later they might say 100 things about it. For me, the experience has always been very, very special. Whether the film was a blockbuster or a hit or it didn't do well, or it doesn't matter. I am so excited. I have butterflies when I'm going to the theater, and I want to see them react to each and every scene. So, best experience, I think, was the Dasara, Saripoda Sinivaram, all these films. I went to Sudarshan Tatfam, where it was madness. It's crazy. But best experience, I have to say, will be Jersey re-release. 5 years later, it re-released, and me, Gautam, we all went to Sudarshan main theater, and it's a 800-seater or 700-seater, I think. It's a full packed theater, and me and my son, he's watching Jersey for the first time. It's a 5-year, and he was 6 then, and He's sitting next to me, and
worst
there's a lot of
experience.
fans, and there's a lot of screaming and cheering, and all that was there. We were seeing the film, and there was this scene before the interval where Ronit on screen does that to me, right? Entire theater stood and turned towards us and did that in front of my son. So that was my jersey moment. Okay, that was the greatest
I think it's
moment
the
for
best,
me.
not worst.
So everyone
Wow.
together, like a stadium, they did that. And my son was not understanding why they all turned back, and he looked at me. And I remember that look, and I think that was a moment for me. I'll
How
never
lovely.
forget. Yeah.
Oh, how
So
lovely.
epic.
Yeah.
I mean, that just makes everything worth it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
That train movement is so iconic. When you go is.
And listen, speaking of re-releases, Yevade Subramaniam just re-released.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I don't know what
that's one of
rewatch
my
plan.
favorite films.
Should we do a watch along of that film? What do you guys think? Let me know.
Of
Mine
yours
too,
and
yeah.
so many other people.
Yeah.
You saw it again with Vijay Deverakonda.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
It was so good catching up, because that team especially is a very close to heart for me because of the experience of making that film. I don't think with any other film I would have gone through so much of ups and downs, and like, will we finish the film? We're going to Himalayas to shoot. There's no other Indian film which shot in
Base camp. And stuff.
Yeah. And just going with some basic things. Not much of a planning. We don't know where we are heading. We haven't been there before. We're just crossing things, and everywhere.
And Nag Ashwin is a first-time director.
And extremely, what do I say? He's not practical at all.
He's a dreamer.
He's a dreamer. He just thinks that it'll happen, and it'll actually happen.
And it does.
It'll actually happen. But someone who's practical, everything is a question, right? Like, what are we going to do this? Will it happen? And then we are going, and everywhere we reached 2 days delayed. So everywhere we reached, our rooms are gone, our rooms are taken, which are the cottages or small thing. We have to make an alternate plan to, stay or eat, everything.
Chaotic.
So even how we shot the whole first half here in Hyderabad with Vijay, Malvika, everyone, that's such a fun experience, that film. And that, for example, not every film we remember all the ADs or each person who worked on film. Every Subramaniam, we know everyone by the name, and to see all of them after these many years, and to catch up with all of them and to watch it again. Now Nagi's, after Mahanati, Kalki, and then Vijay doing so many films and being loved so much. Now all of us together watching the same film, now it's an absolutely different experience. Now it's 10 years before and 10 years later, we're all sitting
so
now, and then we all have our filmographies on a different, point. And then we watching it and we're thinking, there might be a lot of things we might be thinking, why did I do this like this? Okay, all that is put aside.
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful experience. And Swapna planned this whole thing like a party.
Yeah.
Okay, with everyone. And we played the film, and wherever somebody has a memory to share, we pause the film. They can lift their hand, we'll pause the film there, and they'll be given a mic and they can share things. So it was such a fun experience. And Swapna was forwarding me all the... she went to a couple of theaters and then she recorded stuff and all that. She was forwarding me the clips. And them cheering and rooting for all the little things which on the release date didn't happen. Okay, and then now they're them cheering for all the little things. It felt like, see, a good cinema, I think, will get its full due. At that time also it was a hit.
Yeah.
But now it's a lot more celebrated, so I was very happy to see that there.
And it's also, I think, so many people have discovered it who are not just Telugu speakers, all of us outside,
Over time,
Also over time, because we loved what Nagi's done with other films, we went back to the first one, and it's such a lovely film. And those emotions and those life lessons will hold.
That is exactly Nagi. That is, everything about Yevade Subramaniam is what Nagi is.
Yeah, he's Rishi. Basically.
He is. Yeah,
no spoilers, please.
Yeah, say that message clear and loud. That, come on. I remember the one line from the film. What most important if we can
No
take back something
spoilers.
from
No
nowadays cinema,
spoilers.
is
No
about
spoilers.
Krishnamraj garu who
No
played
spoilers.
you know role in the film. He
No
says that
spoilers.
he asks my character. He
No
says,
spoilers. No spoilers. No spoilers.
"Will you
No
do the same
spoilers.
job
No spoilers. No
if I give you
spoilers.
as
No
much money
spoilers.
as
No
you want?"
spoilers.
Then I
Spoilers.
say, "If I have
No
as
spoilers. Spoilers.
much money as I want,
Spoilers.
why would I say,
No
do this job?"
spoilers. No
And he
spoilers. No
says, "I would do
spoilers.
the same
Spoilers.
thing."
Spoilers. No
And
spoilers.
Which is
No
why he doesn't
spoilers.
sell.
No
correct,
spoilers.
exactly. That's why he
Spoilers.
doesn't
Spoilers.
sell. And
Spoilers. No spoilers.
I
This
remember
feels so
thinking
weird.
how when he
Spoilers.
wrote that script
Spoilers.
and I was
Spoilers.
shooting that scene, I remember while he was saying that line, I was thinking in my heart, how lucky am I? I chose cinema. Because no matter what you give me, I will want to keep doing cinema. It is not about you give me 10,000 crores, I'll go chill somewhere. No, I will work in the same way. I'll wake up same time.
Wow, that's a dream.
My working hours will be same, and this will be the most important thing. So I feel that it's such a strong thing everyone should know right now, because when you do something you really love, only then life is worth all this drama. Right? Otherwise you cannot go through all that and every day go do something which you're not liking. I felt like that is something which is really needed to be said.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, you can't even chill for 2 days, so
Exactly.
Unlikely that you're going to ever do anything else, and that's a good thing because we need you. Nani, thank you so much.
You.
And I cannot wait to see HIT or HIT, whatever the right.
HIT 3, hit 3.
How would you like it to be said?
Hit 3. Easier, because most people are calling it hit 3. So let's go with that.
Let's go with that. Okay,
nice.
Thank you so much.
I'm not sure that I hope you'll excuse our violence, but but I would look forward to know how you like the film.
Listen, I just do the eye shutting. You know how you squeeze your eyes?
Oh, that's it. Huh?
So then the full impact doesn't come.
Then then you can manage most of it, I think.
I will report back.
Yes, please. I'll look forward to it. And please watch Koat whenever you.
I will, absolutely.
I'll ask my team to coordinate if you can watch it when you're in Hyderabad. That'll be great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, this is Nani. Please subscribe to the Hollywood Reporter India.
That was a really wonderful interview, and really enjoyed the discussion, the talk, everything he talked about. The timestamp is definitely wrong at the end. This is Superman re-release. It's not Superman. I think they used AI. Maybe that's why it just says Superman. But I want to watch that movie. If you guys want to watch along, let me know. We will do that. But everything he talked about, from his process, from how he looks at it, how he just wants to make cinema. That's the work. That's not the work. That's everything. His passion and a motivation to exist or do something. Like, it's not like work and then have to chill. His chilling is work, which we think call work. Like, for him, that's what he wants to do. He wants to breathe cinema. And I think that honesty, the integrity he has for it, I think that's what is making him go that far today where he has reached. And there's lots more to go for. And cannot wait to I'm always looking forward to what he's doing, because he's pushing the boundary. He's challenging what a Telugu film can be and what it could do, and how to tell a story. It's like everything every time they are doing something different. It's not just like they want to do something different. It's not just for the sake of it, or just the concept is different. No, they really are attempting to put in that effort to make it work, to have that unique voice, and to take things ahead, not behind, and not just be selfish about his career or all of that. So that's what I love about him, and really looking forward to everything he's been will be coming, and he was already given us. And I definitely have an interesting idea which I want to develop before. I definitely want to pitch that idea to him. I think it's kind of, I think it suits well, it will work, but there's a lot of more time. But what do you think about this? Let me know thoughts in the comments below, and as you guys see you next, and I will see you next time.